Good morning and welcome to Today in the News on Vanguard Live. My name is Ololade Adeomi. Let's get started. Look into the Vanguard newspaper. It says, as a major headliner, electricity, no respite for 7 million consumers despite 1.5 trillion naira spent on metering. PDP crisis, factions hold parallel neck meetings. Away from the Vanguard, straight into the Punch newspaper. On the top corner, it says APC launches fresh moves to pull five governors. Wike versus Makinde tensions mount as PDP holds neck meetings today. Away from the Punch, straight into the Guardian newspaper. As a top story on the Guardian newspaper, it says old rivalries elbow PDP's lifeline neck meeting. That's all we have on the front page of our newspapers today. Join us after the break for a quick analysis of some of our stories. Welcome back. If you're just joining me today in the news on Vanguard Live, my name is Ololade Adeomi. Let's look into our stories for today. It says electricity, no respite for 7 million consumers despite 1.5 trillion naira spent on metering. Despite nearly 1.5 trillion naira pumped into electricity metering programs by the federal government and multilateral partners, Nigeria's huge metering gap persists due to flawed execution, weak regulation, profiteering by electricity distribution companies, and cost burdens on consumers. Investigation by Vanguard has shown a latest report from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NEC) that as of December 31st, 2024, only about 46.57% customers have meters out of the 13.503 million registered electricity customers across the 12 electricity distribution companies in the country. The data means that about 7.215 million, or 53.57% of the customers, have been left to face outrageous estimated billing system preferred by the discos. Vanguard's findings show that the National Mass Metering Program (NMMP) started in 2020 was established with a seed fund of 200 billion naira from the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN). The NMMP Phase Zero pilot phase was expected to provide 1 million meters at the cost of 59.28 billion naira. The program, however, ran into trouble in 2022 when the meter asset provider beneficiaries, mainly meter manufacturing companies, failed to deliver the meters. As a result, the CBN approached the High Court in Lokoja to freeze 157 bank accounts operated by 10 companies involved in the program. The Apex Bank accused the meter manufacturers of diverting the money into other uses. Speaking to Vanguard in confidence, an industry player said the NMPP failed largely at that point due to corruption and lack of transparency on the part of the companies involved and government officials supervising the program. Let's move on to our second story. It says PDP crisis, factions hold parallel neck meetings. The controversy surrounding the status of today's National Executive Committee (NEC) meeting has torn the People's Democratic Party (PDP) apart, as two factions within the party have resolved to proceed with two parallel NEC meetings. The decision comes amid growing tensions over party leadership and procedural disagreement with INEC. This came as Enugu State Governor Peter Mbah, arising from a closed-door meeting with Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, Chairman of PDP Board of Trustees Senator Adolphus Wambara, and the South-East Zonal Chairman of the party, Chief Ali Odefa, among others, at the Government House, Enugu yesterday. He said he stood fully by the position of the National Working Committee (NWC), the Board of Trustees, and the South-East Zonal Executive Committee (ZEC) on the crisis rocking the party. While the National Working Committee (NWC) is convening the National Executive Committee (NEC) meeting, Senator Anyanwu, who was controversially reinstated by acting National Chairman Umar Damagum, has summoned an expanded caucus meeting. Recall that the acting National Chairman of the party, Umar Damagum, had reinstated Anyanwu as the party's national secretary last week and shifted the NEC meeting scheduled for today. But the National Working Committee and the Board of Trustees rejected this and insisted that the NEC meeting holds today. According to a notice issued on last night by Senator Anyanwu, the meeting will involve statutory members of the National Caucus, deputy national officers, members of the Board of Trustees, state chairmen, members of the National Assembly Caucus, former National Working Committee (NWC) members, national ex officio members, former governors, and immediate past candidates. The notice said attendance was strictly by invitation, underscoring the urgency and exclusivity of the deliberations. However, the expanded caucus meeting and the 100th National Executive Committee (NEC) meeting, also scheduled for 30th June, remain mired in controversy due to internal leadership disputes and procedural irregularities flagged by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). The Commission had rejected PDP's notification for the NEC meeting because it was signed solely by Acting National Chairman Umar Damagum without the mandatory co-signature of the National Secretary, in line with INEC's 2022 regulations. Developments triggered tensions within the party, with National Publicity Secretary Debo Ologunagba insisting that INEC had no authority to interfere in the party's internal affairs. Damagum, however, disowned that statement, describing it as unauthorized. The crisis deepened when Damagum announced the reinstatement of Senator Anyanwu as National Secretary and postponed the NEC meeting, decisions that were swiftly rejected by 11 NWC members and the Board of Trustees. They maintained that the NEC meeting would proceed as planned, citing the supremacy of NEC resolutions as enshrined in the PDP constitutions. Matters took a dramatic turn when PDP staff at the national headquarters staged a walkout in protest, accusing Anyanwu of being a destabilizing force within the party. That will be all for today, and let's call it a wrap for today. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for sticking around today on Today in the News. Remember to follow us on all our social media platforms seen on the screen and on our website at www.vanguardnigeria.com.